Yeah, I do. You know, you do interviews with people, and they're like, you know, you guys are part of this scene. I'm not part of a scene. We're not brother bands. Who would these people be?
Led Zeppelin,
Led
Queen,
Zeppelin. Queen. We have more in common than Queen than anybody else.
April Wine.
April Wine,
Only when we're
Rush,
up here.
Triumph.
The Good Fight, everybody.
Right.
That's one of the reasons, like, we wanted to play with a guy like Jeff, is because he understands our musical sensibilities, and we don't have to worry about him. You know, playing in the Butthole Surfers and Honky, it's like there's not a whole lot we have to worry about. You know, do we? Is there?
The heroin and stuff.
Yeah. Well, at least any of the Seattle bands, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think everybody. I mean, this was the underground punk rock scene.
Paul got pissed off when they called us Godfathers of Grunge. He couldn't. It's like, what the fuck? You know, us and Flipper, they said. God, I don't think us or Flipper ever were striving to be a grunge band. There wasn't even a term.
No, we're the Godfathers of Grunge.
Yeah.
We're the Godfathers of Grunge. We're gonna get up there tonight and be and a one, and a two. Here's an old
Here's your
number for you.
song. How do I choose what to write about if I'm not interested in messages? I guess I don't mean I'm not interested in messages. I mean I'm not interested in things that are too direct for me. You know, that's what it is.
I'd say,
More
you know,
of a
to sum it up, we
roundabout
don't
way
hide
to get
behind
there.
lyrics or tuning or volume or melodies or talent. You just kind of just get up there and do it, you know?
As long
Are
as
there
you have
enough
confidence.
bands in tune?
As long as you have confidence.
Yeah.
Doesn't
There's-
matter if you're way out of tune.
There's enough bands in tune. There's enough bands with messages. People shouldn't look to us to do that.
Most bands with a message you can't really understand when it's 120 dB anyway. What they're saying. What? Yeah.
I've
People
got a
get the lyrics
message
wrong anyway.
about vivisection. I'm gonna scream it in every punk rock club in the U.S.
Animal
Who
rights through ear
cares?
damage.
That's always been animal rights through hearing damage. That's right. Songwriting in This Machine Kills Artists. Basically, what I wanted to do with that record was, not alienate every fan I had, and also, do something that was as stripped down as I possibly could make it.
I heard
Have it work.
Rush tribute album.
Yeah, it's a Rush tribute, 2113.
He doesn't know it yet, but Jeff and I have added bass and drums to the record, and
Yeah.
it's going to come out as our new record.
Exactly. But songwriting-wise, you have to make it work. I'm gonna do another one, I'm sure, at some point. But it was really great. I did an entire world tour doing that, and I had a great time. It was really fun. But you're up there all by yourself. Jeff said it. It's like he did a few shows with me, and you're up there with nothing. You got to make it work. So
It's tougher to play in front of 12 people that are all staring at you than it is to see a sea of heads at 60,000 people when all you have is one instrument. It's a little different.
yeah. Plus, I didn't want to do a record that was with drums, everything. I wanted it to be just acoustic guitar, and it's a real acoustic guitar record. There's no electric guitar on it.
I have to clarify something. There weren't always 12 people at the shows. That was maybe a little bit of an exaggeration.
Sometimes there was only 6.
Yeah. Well, there's one night that we beat up the crowd because we could. It was only 3 people. Yeah.
That's when you guys sold tickets. Tickets went like hotcake.
Hot cake.
Hot cake. Tickets went like hot cake.
My favorite of Buzz's song was his last one.
You had a lot of fan there.
A lot of fan.
All my fans showed up.
We had started a record in 1998 with this guy, Mike Kunka, who used to be in a band called Godhead Silo. And we had done the basic tracks for it, and then he just kind of disappeared. And then recently he came out of the woodwork and wanted to finish the record, and we just finished that up.
You finished it.
And we're actually going to be, for the first time
After
ever,
16
on
years.
Sub Pop Records with this record.
Coming out on Sub Pop.
I gotta do it. What's the difference between Sub Pop and the Titanic?
What?
The Titanic had a good band.
And it's still true, even with us being on Sub Pop Records.
This record will change it.
This record will change it. Boom.
Titanic worthy.
It'll sink.
It'll be Titanic. Honestly, I didn't remember writing some of those songs at all.
Yeah, a lot of that
I know
stuff we
I
just
wrote
forgot
a
about.
lot of them, but I don't remember
And then
at
once
all
once we heard it again, we're like, oh, this stuff is actually pretty good. Yeah, people had asked us about it for a long time. Like, well, when's this thing going to be finished? And it was like, well, probably never.
Not on us. We're just waiting.
Our parts were done years ago.
And then we got it now, and we finished up some of the stuff, did some more vocals on it, put a few more overdubs here and there, but not a whole lot. I mean, pretty close.
It was most of it was already there, but
We had to do a bunch of the vocals.
I think it came out really good.
Came out really good.
Yeah.
Love it.
There's a documentary being made about the Melvins, and well, we're not making it. Some friends of ours are doing it.
It's not our deal, though.
It's not our deal.
It's not our deal, man.
That way, if it's no good, then you can't blame us. I don't think that we're worried about anybody complaining about Buzz talking about Montage of Heck, because he's telling the truth about it all. Thing is that you can't really bullshit a bullshitter, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's not here to defend himself, you know? We are.
And that's the whole thing with his review, was defending our friend who's dead.
Yeah, I can't quite figure out what people have a problem with. They want Cobain to be suicidal. They want him to have tried to fuck a fat retard.
Can you say
Quote,
that on
unquote.
TV here? I mean, he is quoting the movie.
I am quoting the movie. You know, they want that. They would feel better if he was suicidal. They'd feel better.
I have a feeling that the director looks at it as some sort of art piece rather than something that's based in fact, you know. And I don't know. People never really believe us anyway when we tell
No.
the truth about that stuff. But I mean, you know, we knew him really well. I was in the band more or less, you know.
It's just weird to me that anyone would defend this stuff that I'm mad about. That's crazy.
And who are you going to believe? Somebody that knew him really well, or somebody that didn't know him at all? We don't have any. We don't have any monetary gain from saying any of this stuff at all.
I mean, I gained nothing from this, you know, other than saying, you know, I was contacted and contracted to write a review of it. So
That's what it was.
that's the review.
You know, and you know, not that I'd expect it, but none of the people that had anything to do with the film bothered to get a hold of us. They probably don't even know that my parents are in the movie.
You know, I mean, his daughter wasn't even there. You know, and Courtney. Nobody believes Courtney. Why would you? Would you?
Occupy Courtney.
Occupy Courtney.
But you know, all those stories about Cobain and those guys have always been BS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's BS. 90%
But, you know,
BS.
but you know, it's better than the truth anyway.
I'm just sorry that all those stories came out about him first and not us.
I like the animated stuff in there, especially about Aberdeen, because when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that looks. They really captured what a depressing hellhole that place really was. You know?
Did. Have you ever
It's
been
even
there?
worse now. I mean,
Yeah, I have.
I mean, it was bad when we grew up there, but I mean, now that place is just hell on earth.
They
You
don't
know?
have anything over 2 stories there, right, to cut down on the suicide rate?
Could be.
They've pretty much leveled every building in town. there,
Highest
so-
amount of legs broken, though, from what I hear.
A lot of legs broken. A lot of wheelchair sales have went way up.
This has just gone south, hasn't it? Sorry. No.
Where's Dave? Have him flip this desk.
Dave, throw a chair for
Yeah,
us.
we need somebody to throw a chair for us. Well, when do you guys throw a chair for us?
Please throw a chair for
Throw a chair for us, please.
Or a cone,
We
or
can't be bothered to
there's
throw
a
our
chair.
own chairs.
Can we throw that chair over there?
Here,
Just
now
kinda
throw
drop
it.
There you
throw
go.
it.
There we go.
Thank you.
Perfect.
That's better. Now I feel better. Ah.
Once a day, we got to have somebody throw a chair,
Yeah,
and
as
then
long as we don't have
always
to
feel a
do
little
it.
better. It gets the aggro's out.
We're very serious about what we're doing, even though it's completely unserious.
Have a good time all
the time. That's our message.
That's right.
We don't really have a unifying anything. You know, we make records and we make a lot of them. We tour a lot. We play music. It's what we do. It's not the hardest job I've ever had by any means. I love doing it, and I work really hard on it. I spend 70% of my waking hours working on whatever it is I'm going to do musically. So it's all good. How about you?
What I found in my studies would be that if you fart in a microphone and it cracks you up, that there's probably about 10% of the listening audience out there that's going to laugh with you.
We're happy to be here. Toronto's always been great to us, you know, pretty
Yeah.
much. We did a show once in Toronto opening for Nirvana at the Opera House.
That's right.
And there was a writer here, and we've never forgotten this. I've always been very proud because I don't know how I would decide this, but he decided it, that we were the worst band he'd ever seen.
Oh, there's been lots of people that have said that. That's
The worst band ever.
I've
So
seen.
you're sitting there going, what is the worst band you've ever seen? How
Right.
would you decide that?
Like we were saying the other
He
day.
knew it at the show. This is the
It was
worst.
the worst band I've ever
Who's
seen.
the worst band you ever saw? You have to think about it.
In closing, for me, I'd like to say in the words of Augie Myers, don't take no shit from no one.
That's right.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. If you see a band, and you don't have anything positive to say about them, you can always say like, "Hey, looks like you guys are having fun up there,"
You're really having fun up there.
or
You
"You
sounded
guys are tight."
You sounded really tight.